Update 2. So now Brenda wants to reclaim her place. She did everything in her means to close the marriage. One evening, I had wrapped up work early and decided to spend some time in the garage. The old lathe machine my dad left me needed a bit of tuning, and honestly, working with tools clears my head better than any therapist could. I texted Mona earlier, asking if she wanted to drop by. I said I'd be tinkering with the machine and could use an extra pair of hands. She showed up in casual wear, looking comfortable, not trying to impress anyone. That's one of the things I liked about her. She didn't put on a show. We started working. I was under the hood, tightening bolts, and she stood beside me, passing tools as I asked. She watched closely, asked about the machine part and how it operated. It came out of genuine curiosity and not desperation to bond. After a while, she started smiling. I asked what happened. She asked, "Aren't you happiest with the machine? You enjoy it so much." I chuckled. It's what I do every day. Machines are honest. If something's wrong, they show you. People, not so much. She got quiet at that, understood exactly what I meant without me saying more. Then, suddenly, I felt a pair of eyes on me. I turned slightly, and through the garage window, I saw Brenda leaning on the porch railing, staring at us with crossed arms. She didn't say a word, didn't even come inside, just stood there watching. Her face was hard to read, anger, jealousy, or maybe fear. I ignored her and went back to my work. Mona handed me another tool, chatting lightly, but I could feel Brenda's gaze burning through the glass. She eventually stomped off, the front door slamming shut loud enough for both of us to hear. Mona gave me a look. "She saw us, didn't she?" I nodded. Yeah, I let her. After I was done, we sat in the garage sipping coffee. Mona said, "You know, she's going to come at me eventually, right?" I sighed. She already did in her head, the moment she saw us, but you don't know her or anything. Later, Mona told me Brenda had texted her. "Stay in your lane. Don't forget, he's still my husband," Mona replied. "Oh, is it? The last I knew, you were found in someone else's bed." That shut her up. That was the turning point. After that, things got ugly. She watched Mona and me like a hawk. The closer Mona and I grew, the more Brenda unraveled. Earlier, she used to smirk at us, but now she scowls. Brenda's confidence cracked. She would hover in doorways, watching us. She wasn't smiling anymore when she went out. She looked tired, bitter. I'd catch her staring at us, but not saying a word. Once, Mona stayed over while I cooked roasted chicken. She was handing me spices, chatting about her job. Brenda saw us through the hallway. This time, she barged in, slammed the fridge door, and left without saying a word. Mona left shortly after that. That was the last time Mona came. Our talks have also reduced. She replied late, or just in one word. Said she was busy. I found it odd, but gave her the space. Meanwhile, Brenda launched her plan in full swing. One morning I went to the kitchen to make black coffee and maybe grab some bread. Except when I walked in, she was already there, dressed in a neat blouse and jeans, with brushed hair and light makeup. The table was properly set with placemats, plates, and cutlery lined up like we were hosting brunch. On the stove, I could smell bacon frying. There were eggs on the counter, a little bowl of cut fruit, strawberries and grapes, like she used to when we first got married. On seeing me, she exclaimed, "Morning," with a bright smile. I froze in the doorway. I hadn't seen her in that mode for years. She hadn't made me breakfast since, I don't even remember when, not unless you count pouring cereal. I was so confused. "What's all this?" She beamed. "Just thought I'd do something nice. You've been so stressed. I figured we could start fresh. Sit, I'll make you coffee," and slid bacon onto a plate. I sat, more out of curiosity than hunger. She set the plate in front of me, eggs sunny side up, crisp bacon, and buttered toast. Even poured fresh orange juice into a glass. Then she sat across from me. I ate it without even looking at her. Why would I not eat? I pay for the groceries in the house, so yeah, no problem. After a few minutes, she goes, "See how good it feels? We have had enough of this stupidity. Let's close the marriage." She thinks marriage is some form of lid that you can open and close whenever you want. I had a lot to say, but that would have only wasted my time and energy. I had to leave for work. So I just chuckled, finished my breakfast and left. She was like, "Hello? No thank you? No compliment?" With a straight face, I said, "I was good." She murmured ungrateful under her breath. The next morning, I was making breakfast for myself. She came in again and in all soft voice said, "You don't have to do that, you know. I can make something for us." I didn't even look up from the pan and replied, "I'm good." She walked closer, rested her hand on my shoulder. Come on, don't be like this. We've had 8 good years. Don't throw it all away. I casually replied, You threw it away the day you started fantasizing about someone else touching your body. She stormed out quickly from there. That was the pattern now. Fake sweetness, then rage when it didn't work. 2 nights after the breakfast stunt, she tried another play. I was in the guest room working on my laptop on the bed. Out of habit, I had the lamp on low. Around midnight, I heard the door creak. I didn't look up right away, heard a whisper. Hey. I thought she was there to talk again about closing the marriage, so I just kept scrolling my laptop without even looking up and asked, Yeah? What happened? A few seconds later, I felt the bed dip. She had crawled in, barefoot, wearing one of those silk nightgowns I hadn't seen in years, cut low at the chest, like she used to wear back when things were good. Her perfume was heavy enough that I knew she'd sprayed it on deliberately. She leaned against me and said, I can't sleep. By the time I looked at her to respond, she had already slipped her hand under mine. I shrugged her off, jumped out of bed and asked her to leave. She almost demanded, Can you move back to the bedroom? I really can't sleep alone. I snapped, Then go and find someone who can sleep with you. There are plenty of them out there who won't mind doing this favor. She slipped her gown down her shoulder. I freaked out and called her names. She looked at me in disbelief. I rushed to open the door and asked her to get out. She thinks she can use her body to get away with everything. She's wrong. The same night, my lawyer informed me that the paper was ready and I could serve her whenever I wanted. I got it shipped. The next morning, I handed her the papers across the kitchen counter. She looked down at them and tears rolled down her cheeks. She barely whispered, Is this really necessary? I said yes. You have 2 weeks to find a place. She broke down. Can we not just forget everything and start over? I said no. She snapped. So this is about Mona. You want to marry her, and that's why you want to get rid of me. I replied, It's about you. You tossed our marriage for a temporary thrill. She tried to reason that I agreed to open the marriage. I gave her a look of, Don't start, please. We both know you cheated before. She stood there silently for some time before whispering, I thought you'd never actually go through with it. I shrugged. You thought wrong. 2 days have passed. She hasn't signed yet. Nor has she left the house since. I heard her crying and wailing at night, talking over the phone and crying that she has ruined her life. Sometimes I feel like she's talking loudly just to make me hear it. Honestly, I'm just waiting for these 2 weeks to get over so that I can get rid of her. Meanwhile, Mona has completely disappeared. Not ghosted. We talk, but she's not available as she used to be. She cites her upcoming project release as the reason for her busy schedule. I don't know if she's really busy or avoiding me. I'll figure out once I'm done dealing with my soon-to-be ex. We'll keep you posted. Update 3. The last 3 weeks have been a mess. A few days after she was served, I was in the living room. She came and sat across from me with messed up hair and puffy eyes. Almost begged, Please, let's just stop this. Forget divorce. We don't need to go through with it. Let's just go back to how it was. If you want to make it even, you can even have Mona for some time. We've built this together. Let's not ruin it. I stared. Told you, I don't want this circus. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I don't want to move out. This is my home too. I flatly said, It was, but you burned it, and now you have 2 weeks to find somewhere else. She got defensive. So, that's why you had this prenup? You always had this divorce thought in your pocket? I said, You can think whatever you want. It's not my problem to give you an explanation. She sobbed into her hands, but I felt nothing. No pity, and not even anger. She lawyered up, and the next day my lawyer called. Your wife's lawyer just filed a motion. She's contesting the divorce terms. She wants alimony and the house. I almost dropped the phone. The house? That's my family home. It's in the prenup. He sighed. She's trying to claim it as Social Security, saying she gave up her career opportunities to support the marriage and should be entitled to it. I laughed bitterly. Support the marriage? She's been out partying half the week and wanted to bring her boyfriend into our bedroom. He calmed me down, saying, Don't panic. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. The prenup is airtight. She signed it knowingly. This is just throwing mud at the wall, hoping something sticks. That evening, Brenda came home furious. She slammed her purse on the table and stormed into the kitchen. You think you can just throw me out like trash after everything I've done for you? I stayed calm. You agreed to the prenup. You knew exactly what you were signing. She scoffed. I signed it because I thought we'd last forever. I snapped. It would have if you didn't go around whoring yourself. She wept. You made me sign the prenup. I didn't think you'd actually use it against me. I leaned back in my chair. It's not me using it against you. It's me protecting what my parents built. This house isn't yours to take. Her voice cracked into a shriek.
So what do I get? Nothing? After 8 years?
I smirked. You get freedom. You wanted open marriage, remember? Consider this the ultimate open marriage. You're free. She broke down and tears streamed down her face.
I don't want freedom. I want security. I want the house. I want what's mine.
I told her in a flat tone. This house was never yours, and in 1 week, you won't even live here. Start packing. I stood up and walked outside. She glared at me but didn't say another word. She just stomped upstairs, slamming the bedroom door so hard the pictures rattled off the wall. Then, later in the night, I texted Mona. It had been a long while and I really wanted to talk to her. I asked her out for coffee. She replied, "Swamped with work. Maybe later." Something about that felt off. Mona wasn't the type to dodge. If she was busy, she'd say, "Give me 2 hours," or "tomorrow evening." But this was vague and not her. I sat there staring at the phone, my gut telling me something was wrong. The next day, I decided to show up at her place. She answered the door, and for a moment, she looked guilty, like a kid caught sneaking cookies. I asked if everything's okay. She forced a smile. "It's just work stress. Deadline's near." I shook my head. "No, something's off. You don't dodge me unless you're holding something back. Tell me. If you don't want to see me, it's fine. Tell me. I'm a big boy. I can handle." She sighed, let me in, and closed the door. We sat at her small kitchen table, and she finally admitted that it was because of Brenda. Apparently, she showed up at Mona's and almost begged her to stay away from me. Said, "I'm sure he'll come around if you stop supporting him. He thinks he doesn't need me because he has you. Please let me save my marriage. We've been together for more than a decade. Please give us the space. He loves me, and you're just his rebound. He's using you just for support. He can't love anyone but me." I clenched my fists that she was still playing that game. I asked her why she didn't inform me about it. She said, "I didn't promise her anything, but thought maybe Brenda was right. Maybe I should step back. 8 years of marriage worth a chance. I don't want to be called a homewrecker." That word cut through me. I reached across the table, took her hand and pacified her. "You're not the reason my marriage ended. Brenda is. She broke it long before you came into the picture. She dragged Jackie into our lives. She chased other men. Don't you carry her guilt." Her eyes softened, but she still looked torn. I don't want people to see me as the other woman." I leaned closer. "You're not the other woman. You're the woman in my life who has supported me in bad situations. Brenda's already been served. She's moving out in a week. This is done." She replied, "Okay, but until then, let's not meet. I don't want her ambushing me again." I agreed. It was just a matter of a week. Oh my God, that has been the longest week of my life. First, my lawyer shot back her demand that it was meaningless, and the prenup safeguarded all the premarital assets. However, I couldn't get away with alimony and also the split of savings and investments, which I had been doing for all these years. For our retirement and other goals, we were pushing back hard on it. After that, she came to me calmly, brought the papers along and sat me down. "Let's not do this. Instead, let's try out a trial separation. Let's stay separate for 6 months. No divorce, just time to think and reflect." I shook my head. "I'm afraid you'll have to spend your life reflecting on how you screwed up everything, but for me, there's nothing to think about." Her voice sharpened. "So it's about Mona. That's why you're rushing this." I shot back, "It's about you. You torched the marriage. Mona didn't enter it. You opened the door for strangers first." She slammed the papers shut. "Fine. I'll see how you walk away without any collateral damage." The conversation was going nowhere, so I stormed out. The next day, I came home from work to find her waiting in the living room with crossed arms. She didn't even let me put my bag down and screamed, "So what's your plan? Move Mona in here once I'm gone? Parade her around like she's the queen of this place? I made this house, and I cannot see her reaping the fruits. Such a homewrecker opportunistic witch she is." I chuckled. "Funny, the only wrecking ball here was you." Her face turned red. "You're pathetic. Do you think she loves you? She's using you for your money and security. If she was so good, why didn't she find a man to marry her? Her father died 3 months ago. She could have found a man to love her if she was worth it." I snapped. "Look who's judging whom. The one who threw away her stable marriage for a stranger's dick." She threw the wine glass at the wall and stormed upstairs, screaming about how I'd ruined everything. I was so horrified after that incident that I couldn't sit in that house. I got in my truck and drove to Mona's place. She opened the door, and before I could say a word, she just looked at me and asked, "Now what?" I must have looked like hell because she immediately pulled me in and sat me down on her couch. I told her everything. By the end of it, I had my face buried in my hands. She didn't lecture me, just sat beside me, placed her hand on my shoulder, and said, "She's trying to break you because she's already broken. Don't let her succeed." We sat there in silence for a while. Then she turned and asked me softly, "What do you even think about me and us? Is this something you want, or am I just a pit stop for you?" I looked at her and spoke with conviction. "I wouldn't be exaggerating if I say you're the sunshine in this mess. You've supported me when I was literally drowning. I can't even imagine how I would have processed the betrayal without you. If this is a pit stop, I don't want the road to continue." She blushed. I told her clearly, "I respect you. I'd like to date you and see where it leads." She said she needed clarity, that she wasn't looking to be someone's rebound. I told her, "You're not. If anything, you're the only thing keeping me steady." She smiled faintly, eyes wet. "Good answer." We were having a good intimate moment for the first time. We kissed, and that's when the banging started. Felt like someone was hammering on the door. Mona froze. We didn't move at first, but the pounding increased and Brenda's voice echoed through the hallway. She was screaming and cursing Mona, asking her to answer the door. Initially, we thought to let her be or call the cops, but we were afraid that the neighbors would be disturbed. Then Mona was like, "Let's face it." She opened the door, slightly, not to give the full view of the apartment. Brenda screamed,
I was right. You witch, effing my husband. Where is he?
Before Mona could respond, Brenda yelled again,
I know he's here. I saw his car downstairs. Come out, coward.
I stepped out of the living room. "I'm right here, and I'm not your husband anymore. Get out." Brenda shoved the door wider. Her mascara was smeared. She looked half drunk, half deranged. She glared at Mona first.
You think you've won, don't you? You think he's gonna marry you? He'll get bored, just like he got bored with me.
I cut her off. "That's enough. You've humiliated yourself enough tonight. Go home, Brenda. Whatever's left of it." She tried to push past me and go for Mona, but I blocked the doorway. "Leave, or I'm calling the cops." Her lip trembled. She looked at me one last time, eyes filled with hate and desperation, then spat at the ground and just stormed off. Her heels echoed as she went down the stairs and cursed us. I shut the door and leaned against it. Mona was standing there shocked. I hugged her. We didn't talk much after that, just sat in silence, letting the storm pass. I spent the night at her place, too terrified to leave her alone. The next morning when I came home, Brenda was packing. I could hear the slamming of the drawers and closet from outside. I walked into the hallway to see her dragging suitcases, clothes spilling out of them. She wasn't crying anymore, just silent, furious movements. When she saw me, she sneered, "Don't look so smug. You'll regret this when she dumps you." I didn't reply, just walked into the guest room, leaned behind the window curtain, and watched her load bag after bag into her car. And with that, she slammed the door and drove off. 2 weeks later, the lawyers finalized the settlement. The prenup held strong. She couldn't touch the house, the farmland, or any of my inheritance. My family's legacy stayed safe. However, she did walk away with half of our savings and investments. Every dollar I'd set aside for retirement, for vacations, for safety nets, split down the middle. It burned me, I won't lie. Watching years of careful savings get drained overnight, knowing she'd probably blow her half on vacations and bars while I rebuilt brick by brick. Still, it was better than losing what truly mattered. That night, I sat in my garage with Mona beside me, and it felt so much peaceful. She smiled at me. No makeup, no act, just herself. Honestly, the garage scene with Mona says it all. Machines are honest, people aren't. And Brenda, she made her choices. All the breakfast, nightgown theatrics, and screaming, just noise. You stuck to your rules, protected what mattered, and let her act out on her meltdown. That's all you could do. Some lessons come with tears and mascara streaks, apparently. If your ex showed up in silk, cooked breakfast, and screamed about homewreckers, how long would it take before you laughed and called it a day? Let us know below. And thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.